Grace. Flames, rain.
Ready to strike. Go. Oh well. Watch out, my Al.
Okay.
Again.
Okay.
I never said there was treasure. Nice.
Melanie, 5th of February. The Brigadiers are overdue from their mission to the monolith, and we've lost half our remaining fighting strength to these creatures and their relentless assault. All adults have taken up arms, but I'm a bookkeeper. What am I supposed to do? Count them before they slaughter us? We've hidden the children. At least they're warm and dry in the cellars, but rations are running low. Things are calmer now at the hospital, but That's because most die before we can get to them. I guess I'm living out of pure stubbornness at this point. Survival isn't really survival anymore. Everyone's so quiet lately. Afraid we'll draw attention. Sometimes I talk to myself just to hear another human voice. Trevor, you promised I could die before you. You promised.
Great. Ready to parry. Okay. Parry it. Let's dance. So dodge. Let's brave.
I'll use your fire. That's better. Get ready. Not impressed. Bring it on.
Anja.
Ready to strike. That's better.
We're a pretty good team. Versa? Versa? Putain. Where did he go? So, where did you go? I need to find Lune and Ciel, quickly.
Kanske stämmer. Det är som Johan vet du. Så ölen är det med. Det är bra.
Grace. On me. Let's dance. On Jack. think I'm close. This manner's intact. Why does it feel so familiar? Know this.
I knew you'd open the door for her.
Really, Verso? This was your plan? Must you hurt our family?
No, you don't get to lecture me on family.
Why do you refuse to see I am doing this for us? Yet you insist on rushing toward death. You're trying to stop the wrong cycle.
You're doing this for yourself.
Of course. It's easier for you to think that, isn't it? Easier to betray us if I'm the villain.
So move. I'm gonna fucking kill him.
You haven't told her the truth, have you, son?
Sorry we're late. We were busy doing a bit of reading. Were you planning on sharing that this man, the man who murdered our team, is your father?
Family is not my favorite topic. Right, can we talk about this later? I'd really like for you all to survive this.
Careful, my elf.
Forced us to this point.
Feel the burn.
She won't help you this time.
Didn't really need it.
I'm not angry, just disappointed.
Enough.
Feel the burn.
Watch out, my elf.
Tearing this family apart.
That's better. Worth it.
Brace yourself.
Should be fighting by my side.
Chroma is flowing.
Let's carve a path. I'll use your fire. That's better.
A storm is coming.
Cut him down. Go.
Ready to evade.
Bring it on. Maximum damage. I'd really like for you all to
Ready to pounce.
Forced us into this.
Try me.
tearing this family apart.
Here we go.
You should be fighting by my side.
Do me in.
Bring it on. Time to end this. Touch that.
Careful now.
Lift.
Careful now. Eyes up, person. Careful now.
Cut him down. Bring it on. Bring it on. Go. Not impressed.
forced us into this. She won't help you this time.
Let's carve a path. I'll use your fire.
I'm
Get
not
ready.
angry, just disappointed.
I'll use your knife.
I can do it. Okay.
Tearing this family apart.
Let's carve a path.
Still mean?
Should be fighting by my side.
Wow.
There's no judge.
Watch out!
I'm ready.
It's locked on you.
Let's carve a path. Here we go. Incoming. Watch out. Incoming. At last. Oh well. Oh well. I'll manage. Let's go again.
Welcome back.
Bring it on. You're outmatched.
This! Careful now.
Maximum damage. Oh well. CL incoming. CL incoming.
Eyes up, person. Eyes up, person. Waiting. Too short. Too short. I'll use your knife. Take your shot.
Maximum damage.
Well. Better.
Bring it on. Let's have some fun. For now.
It's not me. Okay. unusual life. Take your shot. Eyes up, person. If I die, so be it. Deck. Time to read. Take your shot.
Cut him down.
Full deck.
Everyone all right? Laka?
Locos. Broken. You accept who you are!
What is that? Will you tell me your name?
Alicia.
Fuck!
Sorry. Thank you, mon ami.
Care to explain? Your father.
I don't think of him as my father anymore.
Still, why didn't you just tell us?
Because it's private. And it's painful and it's none of your business. I cut ties with him decades ago.
Lying by omission is still lying.
I've told you everything you need to know.
I'd rather make that determination for myself.
I think we can all understand where each other's coming from, right? He hasn't steered us wrong yet. But we're a team now. And we won't get very far if we don't trust each other.
Family's complicated.
Old friend, you've traveled miles, spinning in circles, your blind eyes on the dial, stripping off.
The stories say that Gestrels reincarnate. Is that true? Can you bring Noko back?
Partially. We can bring Noko back to life. But not all of Noko will return. It will be a different Noko. The one you knew is gone.
I'm so very sorry, my friend. And all for naught. The Painter's heart was in that manor, and now it's gone. We have no way to access the monolith.
Expedition 58 seemed to think you knew another way.
What?
We found 58 and their journals.
So that's how you... I wasn't hiding it. If that's what you're implying. It's a dead end.
Wait, what are you talking about?
There's someone else who can help us. Excuse me. Is it true? Can you make a weapon that can pierce the barrier? Do you need something from the axons? Do you need their hearts?
Look, to create this weapon, he needs enormous amounts of pure chroma, which is way beyond what we can get from Nevrons. The only source are axons, yes. But like I said, that's a dead end, it's impossible.
Why? What are axons?
They're massive creatures living on islands around the monolith. They're much stronger and much more dangerous than Nevrons. I can't die, and I still couldn't take them down.
Yet we found the corpse of one in Old Lumiere, so it's possible.
I don't know how that one died. But I'm telling you, listen to me, please. Our chances of taking them down without you lot dying are close to zero.
Close, but not zero. Death is coming either way. And as expeditioners, if we die fighting.
Wonderful pep talk.
I know.
All right, if we're going to fight the Axons, then let's be smart about it.
What do you mean?
I've had a few rough encounters with the Axons. There are 3 located on islands around the monolith, and we need at least 2 hearts to get enough chroma. One lives on a mountain too high for us to reach, so that one's out. We should start with the one to the west of the monolith. It's already been weakened by previous expeditions, right?
Yeah, good idea. Maximize our chances.
Or we embrace the challenge and pick the one in the east.
I like your spirit.
Thank you.
Did you listen to what I just said? I'm sorry, mon vieux. We'll bring Noko back.
I know.
I'm ready.
When the time is right. I see you got stronger.
Well, I didn't spend the last few years hiding in the mountains.
The mountain where a pelerin cut you in half and you cried for my help.
Yeah, the mountain where a Stalak stomped you and I had to evacuate you.
You want to fight?
Well, unlike Jestrels, I need sleep, so I'll pass.
Coward.
Have you seen how weak you are now?
In the mountains, I have learned inner peace. These petty provocations.
I've missed our little excursions. Yeah, you do too.
Remember our first battle against the...
Sure do. We got our asses kicked pretty hard.
And this one time we tried to swim to the Red Tree Island and you got eaten by that snake.
Oh yeah, it turns out living inside a snake's belly is possible when you're mortal. Carving my way out was a nightmare though. Remember that time when you challenged Esquier to a duel?
Well, someone conveniently forgot to mention that Esquier is the most powerful creature in the world. Good times. Oh, and remember when...
Good times indeed.
I'm mad.
Esquier?
I'm stinking mad.
About?
That was mean. I thought he cared. Renoir's not being Renoir.
He's not. I know, buddy. I'm mad too.
That armband looks nice.
Yeah, I guess it's official. We're part of the disaster expedition now. Are you jealous?
I'm doing all the hard work. Where's my armband?
So, you want an armband too?
Maybe.
You barely have arms.
Not true. Anyway, I want a headband.
Your head is humongous. You're gonna need so much cloth.
I have a big brain.
All right, Monsieur Big Brain. I'll see what I can do. Happy now?
Ooh, this is the nicest thing ever.
Ready for the axle? Throwing rocks again?
Mm-hmm.
Eskia would be horrified that we're throwing stones into the lake.
Or he'd be super happy because we're sending them soaring on fun little adventures.
Oh, so they're like little rock.
Exactly.
Would that make you the paintress then?
Clearly, I'm Lumiere. I'm launching them on their journey and watching them from afar. Stone after snowing.
Poetic.
Well, realities.
Is that what you're writing in your notebook all the time? Depressing poetry.
It's not all depressing. Why, what do you write about? You don't seem like a sunshine and rain.
Mostly poetic insults to use on Monoko. I'm currently comparing him to the backside of an owl. Actually, writing is cathartic for me. It helps. Getting the thoughts out of my head and onto the paper.
Can I see?
Do I get to read yours?
Mine's kind of personal.
Well, so is mine.
Yeah, but I bet you secretly want people to read it.
Okay, fine. I'll let you read mine.
Okay,
Be kind, though.
Yeah, I can't.
Lune. Okay.
I've been wondering, why stay on the continent alone? Why not
I did. I went back. Helped with the rebuild. After the fracture, we didn't have anything. Food, shelter.
Things must have been chaotic then.
Nothing like the end of the world to bring out the best and worst in us. I almost miss those times. You know the dome shield? My father and I helped build that.
Oh. Why'd you leave then?
Those early expeditions, they were search and rescue. We didn't know about the paintress then. We just wanted to find our loved ones, like my mother.
I see. But this time, you didn't go back.
People didn't trust. Guess I'm hard to trust.
Perhaps.
Guess they thought I knew more than I did. Halfway to the monolith, I was betrayed. Kind of killed my interest in returning home. What about you?
I spent my whole life studying the paintress and the monolith. This is where I need to be.
What a long-winded way to avoid answering them.
Yes.
You paint such a vibe. Oh, good. What?
I enjoyed this conversation.
High praise. Lune. Okay. Do you like cats?
What?
Do you like cats?
I think you've spent too much time alone. You've forgotten how to start a human.
I just have this feeling you're a cat.
Well, you're wrong. I did have a dog named.
You named your dog Paul.
My sister named him. Stella. She was a gifted artist. And fiery. She definitely...
Any other siblings?
Yeah, I had a brother too.
That sounds like my older sister. She was my father's favorite.
I'm shocked it wasn't you. Sol was a great older brother. That's actually how I met Gustav. Sol was dating his sister.
So, you knew Gustav for quite a while?
That's an awful lot of personal questions.
It is. All right, we can talk about me again.
How generous of...
Ask away. I'm being sincere. Go ahead, ask me anything you want.
Remember, do you like monkeys?
Oh, come on. Lune. Okay. My fellow night owl.
Night owl?
You never seem to sleep.
I sleep. I sleep enough.
What keeps you up?
What?
From one insomniac to another.
Sometimes it's like I pick up a puzzle and...
And what's your...
The talking Nevrons. The ones that seem to have personalities. I'm trying to make sense of the thing. I know there's an important piece of the puzzle there. We need to find and talk to more of them.
I've talked to a few. They mostly spout nonsense. I wouldn't expect too much.
Maybe you weren't asking the right questions.
Well, I'm certainly not as experienced as you.
What about you, my fellow night owl? Why can't you sleep?
Same, I get.
Really? You don't strike...
So, you'd call yourself an obsessive warrior?
Come on. I just shared with you.
Sleep is not very restful for me. I used to have horrible dreams, but somehow it was worse when they stopped. Now it's just this.
Fascinating. So, you experience discomfort while you sleep? Pain? Are you aware of time passing? I should observe you next time you sleep.
Well, that's not creepy.
Precisely.
So does this mean I can watch...
No.
Right. Lune. Okay. Ready for the axe? What was it like for you, growing up in Lim?
Aside from being a sad and lonely orphan, it was great. Although technically, everyone in Lumiere is an orphan.
How old were you when your parents passed away?
Around 3, I guess. Yeah. I was an unwelcome surprise. They never wanted kids. And they definitely didn't want one right before their gommage.
Yeah. Your arrival must have caused quite a bit of concern.
Panic's probably a better word. Then they died. And I bounced around from family to family. I can't even remember all of them. I was kind of a weird kid, I guess.
So was I.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I was upset.
I used to have lots of nightmares and talk to myself.
Nah, and that's weird, then we're all weird. Actually, I kind of think everyone's a weird kid in someone's eyes.
Well, I was a weird kid in everyone.
Even Gustav's.
Kind of. It's why he and his sister took me in. Nobody else wanted me. But I guess Gustav and Emma used to be weird kids too. So they liked me.
See? Everyone's weird. What did you do in? Ciel was a farmer, Lune was a researcher, Gustav was an engineer. What about you?
Nobody wanted me for any of the fancy apprenticeships. So I got stuck as a runner for the warehouses. But that turned out to be kind of nice. I got to go everywhere in the city. I probably know the place better than anyone.
Yeah? What was your favorite?
The Hanging Gardens. Me and Gustav used to go up there a lot. Do you miss Lumiere?
Not just the place, but everything about that time. The festivals, the gardens, dancing the night away on the harbour. Before all this. That home is gone. Not just the place.
You have us now?
Yeah. And you... So, you want to dance the night away?
Maybe.
Ready for the axon?
All these years and you've...
They're kind of tough.
And do you think our chances are close to...
I didn't think you cared about her.
Lune and I have less than a year. Story time?
Let me...
Come on. You've been alive for over 60 years. You must have tons of stories.
Over 100 years, actually.
You're 100 years old.
All right. Okay, I'm going...
Oh. Your hair? That's a bit literal.
Hey, I'm sharing a heartfelt secret here. Do you want the story or not?
Please.
Sometime after the fracture, my hair turned completely white like an old man. Luckily, the Gestural village has a hairstylist quite skilled in colour treatments.
Lucky.
But he's always napping when I get there, and his apprentice always mucks things up. I'm lucky my hair's not purple this time.
Purple could be fun.
So?
That was hardly dark or past.
White hair? Old man, I'm revealing myself here.
All you've revealed is that you're vain, and that you're really bad at making appointments.
Vain? Hey, I'm not the one with all the bracelets and ring.
Actually, my students made these bracelets for me, to remember them by. Because chances are we'll never see each other again.
Not necessarily.
I'm an optimist, but I'm also... My youngest student is 6. Her parents will gommage when she's 12, and she herself won't live past 21. Her parents did the maths. They'll have 12 years as a family, and she'll experience 21 years of life. These are the choices we get. The earlier you have children, the more time you get to share with them, the more... And every...
You're shortening your child's life.
Precisely.
You don't have any children, though.
No, I don't, but I have my One of my friends, Sophie, said it best. She said she loves her children so much, the best thing she could do for them is not to have them. See?
Yeah, you've set the bar.
Come back with a better story next... All these years...
They're kind of...
And do you think...
I didn't think you cared about...
Lune and I... Here to make amends for your terror.
I'll be honest. I didn't expect things to get so deep, so...
I could tell. I'm not...
Oh, I can keep up. In fact, I'm here to offer a story.
A good one this time?
Yes. Well, you said I'm vain.
No.
Would a vain person keep this scar? I could heal it. But I don't.
Oh?
It's a reminder of the price I paid to stand on my own 2 feet. But, it meant walking away from... So, there you have it. Dark and personal.
I feel like there's more to this story. It's probably not a coincidence, then, that Renoir has a similar scar.
You noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We disagreed on pretty much everything. Tactics, goals, what lines we would... I had to walk away, but he was...
You fought?
It was the first time we ever raised a hand against the other.
If you can control your healing, that means Renoir can too. And he made the same choice as you.
Oh, I never thought of it that way. But, you're... So, dark... Worthy of the story of that scar on your stomach.
Well, we all have scars that won't heal. That's a story for another time. The scars look good on you.
I know.
I knew it. All these years and...
They're kind of...
And do you...
I didn't think you...
Lune and I...
I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm ready.
When the time is...
Polishing your collection of nav legs?
Yes.
Yes. I, too.
Yes, I knew you would appreciate them. You, sir, are a...
Why do you need to polish them anyway?
A warrior must be prepared for battle. And battle is just as much mental as...
Mental, eh?
Imagine you're in Nevron, and you see charging toward you, brandishing the well-polished and gleaming leg. Think of the intimidation.
True. I wouldn't want to battle anyone who's using your hairy foot as a club. Or for the smell of the intimidation.
And then I transform into one of them. Ha! From that alone, the battle is already won. The rest...
Funny.
Stalacts are too stupid to realize they should be intimidating.
Right. Definitely not because you're afraid of them.
Ha! Me? I fear.
Perfect. Want to go intimidate some stalacts? We've got some time to kill.
Yes, well, that would definitely be quite... But maybe later. I really need to finish polishing all these legs. I've still...
Alright then. Come on, move over and hand me an extra cloth. Let's get these legs shining so bright they blind our enemies and send them screaming. I'm sorry, Mom.
I know.
I'm ready.
When the time is...
Isky. About...
Dad?
He's not... Enjoying the stars?
Stars?
I love the way you see the world.
Ooh. He's not grumpy. He's just sad. He misses Clair. Enfant used to be all wee, but now it's...
Ooh.
Yeah. Centuries go by without your best friends.
Yeah. But how come you're not grumpy?
I am grumpy. I too am. Ooh. But I'm also wee. So the wee.
You might.
You really get...
I'm a bit although I'm a bit more woo. Hey.
Oh. I'm mad.
Isky.
I'm
about...
Dad?
He's not... Ready for the act?
So, the masked person with Renoir, that's your sister? What a hard leap to make.
Her name's Alicia.
What's wrong with her? She wears a mask all the time, she never talks, and she's always staring.
la
She was trapped in a fire a long time ago. Damaged her face and her throat, so...
Why did they come to see?
I don't know. That surprised me when she helped me before. I thought she'd help me again, but family is complicated. Do you want the armband back?
What?
I feel like a fraud wearing it.
Wear it anyway. You said you chose it.
I did.
Strangely, no. I hate secrets, but Gustav always gave people the benefit of the doubt.
Thanks. Ready for the axon?
So this is Visage Island.
He who guards truth with lies.
Are those faces?
An infinite sea of them.
Here's the island singing.
This melody.
This is creeping me out.
What's it doing?
It's not attacking.
Was that an invitation?
So it seems.
Feels like a trap.
I don't mind a straightforward path for once. Better than battling through a mountain of Nevrons.
No, Verso's right. Something feels off.
Oh, I'm harmless. You don't need those.
Well, if you're harmless, then these weapons will stay harmless too.
Touché. Well, Visage invites you to join him in his chamber at the end of this path. I assume that's why you're here.
Where do the other paths lead?
You're free to traverse them. Masks are not just to obscure, they may also illuminate. Look for the masks that you need.
Meaning?
The invitation stands.
Well, head straight to the Axon. Or take the other paths.
Everything's destroyed.
Normally, I enjoy a little destruction, but this doesn't feel right.
It's rage.
Ready to pack.
Oh well.